Hello, humans. Today I'm gonna just like ramble slash vent slash maybe lecture. I don't know. But I was having this thought, and it was that we think that so many things in life are just, mundane. And I also made a video talking about making the mundane sacred, And it got me thinking too about how when we can pour that meaning and purpose and attention and focus into the mundane, that is what makes it sacred. It's where our attention goes and where our intention goes as well. And I've also been thinking too about the power of the words that we speak. And even just psychology shows us that when you have someone constantly saying negative things, that their brain is being trained to think in more negative ways repeatedly. Those are the neural synapse firings and connections that you're strengthening in your mind when you have repeated negative thoughts, and it makes you look for things to have negative thoughts about, So conversely, when you do the positive, you're training your brain to look subconsciously for positive opportunities when you are consciously choosing positive words and positive thoughts. And sound has so much power. That's why a melody can make someone cry, or music can be your catharsis. Sound is just so powerful. That's why speeches and words, they have so much depth and meaning in their precision, the way we have them with language and stuff. And so I've been really focusing on, in my own life, trying to, when I can remember, trying to speak more positive than negative, because I want to be more aligned with the positive opportunities in life than the negative ones. And so I catch myself, when I'm making like small talk or something, I mention something positive. Like if it's nice out, I'll say, wow, it's a beautiful day. Throw out that word beautiful, remind people that there is beauty out there, that has a profound subconscious effect on you and the person you're speaking to, I believe. The language that we choose is just very powerful. And I know there's a lot of people out there that seem to these days do nothing but complain about the negative, and albeit it's easy when there's a lot of negative, really critical things happening in especially the United States of America. I get it. It is easy to talk forever about the bad things happening right now. But at the same time, too, I've kind of realized for a while that I'm done talking about the problem. I want to talk about the solutions. And so, it's just, we can shame other humans for what they believe and what they do, but our shame isn't really going to do anything. Rarely does one opinion change the opinions of everyone else. It just doesn't really work like that. So I don't want to talk about shaming people and how bad they are. I want to focus on what our solutions could look like. So something I've been thinking about in my own personal life is, I saw a post calling out people that buy on Shein, and I honestly think it's kind of a classist judgment call, and that's my opinion, and doesn't mean I'm going to die on that hill or anything, but Shein is cheap, and granted, does it suck that they probably use child labor? Of course, I don't condone that or agree with that, but at the same time, too, if I have $10 and I need underwear and pants, I can't get that at Walmart even for $10. I'd have to go to like Shein or something. And so it's not very fair to judge people living out of desperation and necessity. They are also vulnerable as well. Not that they are more or less vulnerable than the child in a sweatshop, but they are vulnerable still. And pitting vulnerable population against vulnerable population does nothing to work on changing that there's an oppressor at all. So for my own life, I've been thinking about trying to maybe throw this idea out there, or maybe do it myself, create this AI learning based machine that would be like this pair of hands, because you can make robots with inflatable tubes and a metal or internal skeleton, And so if you could somehow interlay sensors on the inflatables and make them a pair of hands that work like human hands, you could get the quality of hand stitching without any of the labor ethics even being a question, you know, because it's a robot and you don't have to pay it. You just a one-time payment for the product, and then it works 24/7 for you. Or maybe it needs to shut down every 48 hours or something to reboot. But, you know, still, that I think would be a really cool solution to child labor issues. Let's make a robotic ethical seamstress that can work for free, and it doesn't mind that it's working for free, instead of paying children or adults like pennies for their hard manual labor. Like, I know that seems like not standard thought of like what hard manual labor is, but sewing, the fine detail with your fingers is really tough on your body. It gives people like arthritis and stuff in the long run, and that makes it even more difficult to do that kind of work. Instead, you could hire these people, not the children, hopefully, but you know, you could hire people to just run the machines instead, and that's a much easier job and is more fitting for that kind of pay if that's what you're gonna pay. You can even have one person man multiple like machines at a time, therefore upping your production. But you know, I want to use my words to uplift and to solve. I don't want to ruminate on problems and issues like I see so many people doing. And I'm not like judging them either. I know it kind of might sound like I am, but it's like I'm just becoming aware of it, I think. And so I've seen that in myself as well, you know. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be the person that is constantly harping on the same things over and over again, because I know how frustrating that is for me personally. It's frustrating being that person that is continually harping on the same issues, and feeling like nothing's being done, because nothing is being done when you're just complaining, right? And so I think what'll help a lot of people is that shift from the problem mindset to the solution mindset, because it's helped me a lot. If something's bothering me, I don't need to think about how much it's bothering me. That's ruminating, right? I want to think of what I can do to solve it, because I do believe most problems can be solved. It's kind of just the nature of problems, right? Yeah, Jeannie says yes. Jeannie. It's the birthday girl, by the way. She's so pretty. She's 1 year old today. Okay. But yeah. So, anyone who's out here watching my silly little videos, and trying to do better for yourself, like, one, I'm proud of you, because it's hard out here. And two, I want to challenge you to say something positive in what you initially perceive as a negative situation. See if you can transmute and transform that with the power of your words, you know, because I find you can. I can. Not always, and not with perfection, but I do think that adding in positive thoughts and mindsets and solution-based thinking is just more helpful in hard times, for me at least. And maybe it'll be that way for other people, because I'm just a human like y'all. So if I can hack my brain, I can help y'all hack your brains. Maybe. We'll see. I hope everyone has a beautiful day, and I'll catch y'all later. Bye.